Hey baseball fans, it's Jason. So last video I went over the 7 most aggressive, the 7 players known for their hustling and all-out style of play. Today I want to go over the 7 most lazy players in baseball. Players that people either call the bums, or just players with supreme talent who just frustrate the hell out of you as a fan because you see them falling asleep or just getting lazy on the field. And not only here and there, but just have developed a reputation for being lazy kind of stiffs. And it's unfortunate because these are some of the most talented players in baseball. And had they applied themselves fully on a consistent basis, you'd probably have several guys here going into the Hall of Fame. So with that, let's go over it. Number 7, Alfonso Soriano. He was a Cub and a Yankee and a Texas Ranger. He was actually the player that was traded to Texas for A-Rod, who brought A-Rod to the Yankees. He was a supremely talented player too, a great hitter, but he was also known for being, lack of hustle on the plate, lack of hustle in the box, lack of hustle on the field, and unfortunately led to a lot of defensive problems and frustration. It's one of the reasons why he got traded for A-Rod, and even though A-Rod's one of the most hated players in baseball history, one of the things he was known for was hustling. And he was always playing every play, and he was always into the game. And those are things that I respected about him. So he's number 7, Alfonso Soriano. Number 6, pitcher Carlos Zambrano, another one with supreme talent. He was just lazy, and it would lead to fitness and health problems, and he was out of shape a lot. And one of the things that frustrated us is that you see that when he was on, he was really, really good. He was almost unhittable. But this guy admitted being lazy, okay? And admitted not wanting to work out. And he basically, admitted being an overpaid kind of lackey, whatever you want to call it. That's one of the things that frustrates the heck out of a lot of people. And he also gave up Jason Hayward's first home run. So his first at bat in the major leagues, he hit that home run in Atlanta off Carlos Zambrano of the Cubs. So he's number 6. Number 7, this guy frustrated hell out of me. Mr. J.D. Drew was the number 1 pick, and then when he got drafted, then he refused to sign because they didn't give him what he wanted, so he went back out and he was picked again, top pick. And he, what can I say? He's not only one of the most overpaid and overrated players, but he's also one of the players that you knew, kind of like a Josh Hamilton, even though his issues were a little bit different. J.D. Drew had that type of unique talent, rare talent as a player, and he just never really fully materialized, never honored his talent, which frustrated the hell out of a lot of fans, particularly in Boston, and rightfully so. This guy, could have been great, and his ego and his lack of hustle and his just lazy mentality got in the way of it on a regular basis. So that's unfortunate. He's number 5. Number 4, and this guy's another supremely talented player, Hanley Ramirez, from the Marlins to the Red Sox. I mean, again, lack of hustle, making these big contracts. It's almost like he signed these big contracts and then he knows it's guaranteed in baseball, so he could just kind of become a lazy bum. And this guy took off plays on a regular basis, and you could tell too, which frustrated the hell out of you. And again, he had the ability, he had a little bit of Miguel Cabrera bat in him, a little bit of David Ortiz in him, and unfortunately, he was, the laziness got in the way, and that's the thing that frustrating. The thing that people notice, like, you could do 100 great things, but that one thing that you really mess up on is the thing that almost overshadows the 100 great things that you do. And this guy he did that on a regular basis, and it frustrated the hell out of his teammates, his managers, his coaches, and his baseball fans, which is unfortunate. So Hanley Ramirez, number 4. Number 3, another talented player. Number 1 pick in the draft, Mignon. And he's kind of, ever since his rookie year, he had the reputation of being lazy. He was with the Twins, then he got released, and then he was at Tampa Bay. Actually, Tampa Bay first, and then with the Twins. Another guy who when he was up, when he applied himself, which wasn't very often, he was a great hitter and a great fielder, and but then he didn't do it very often. His reputation preceded his behavior, and he developed a rep as a lazy guy, and you could see it all the time. That's the way he acted, and it was unfortunate. And a little bit of a testy player too, and he got into a couple of scuffles, but that's not what he was known for. He was known for being a supremely talented player who was just a lazy bum, unfortunately, who could have been a lot better. And it's just one of those, what could have been frustrating players. So he's number 3. Number 2, At least this guy hit a lot of home runs, Adam Dunn. Lefty masher, but he was one of these guys that either hit 45 home runs or 50 home runs, and then struck out 200 times, and at the same time batted 168, like 202 or 190. And again, on the field he was left a lot to be desired. A lot of issues with routine plays. You could see he was just kind of snoozing and had a lot of defensive players. So luckily he had a bat to kind of offset a lot of the things, and people generally watched him for his bat. But had he applied himself on the field, he could have been, a potential Hall of Fame player. Because that's one of the things that really hurt him, and he's one, supremely talented players. So he's number 2, and number 1. This breaks my heart as a Yankee fan, but when he signed that $240 million contract with the Seattle Mariners, Robinson Cano. One of the just sweetest swings, one of the most graceful and beautiful hitters of this generation, or the last 2 decades, and who had some great years. But then he signed that contract, and even though he had developed a reputation for being lazy and taking off plays, which led to some defensive issues in the field as well for the Yankees, it filtered over into the Seattle Mariners, and at some point they traded him to the Mets 2 years ago. And even though he's kind of has a little bit of resurgence of the bat, the same issues are resurfacing with the lazy thing, taking off plays, falling asleep and frustrating the hell out of his teammates and managers and coaches and the fans. And last thing you want to do is frustrate the fan base in New York. They'll eat your life. And they did that with the Yankees. They'll do that with the Mets. And again, you could hit 45 home runs, but like if you're becoming lazy and it becomes at the worst time, a couple times, they're gonna let you know. So he's number 1 on my list. Again, a potential Hall of Fame talent, but now that he also got busted for PEDs, so that kind of hurt his cause too. But with that said, that's my list, the 7 laziest players in the MLB. If you enjoyed the video, please click the thumbs up. If you're a baseball fan, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And if you want to watch the rest of my videos, make sure you hit that notification, because you're not going to want to miss the videos that I'm going to be bringing out. So thank you again for your support. If you have feedback or comments of your own, put them down below. I respond to everybody. And I will talk to you next time.